Hello, I'm Richard Malczyk and I'm one of the consultants at R&D Tax. I'm chatting to Louise Thomas, co-founder and chief executive at Aware Labs Limited, a high-tech startup that's recently benefited from our Giving Back program. Hi Louise, how are you?
Hi, well, thank you. It's very nice to see you again, Richard.
Yeah, great to see you too. So Louise, can you give us an overview of Aware Labs? Let us know what your business does and how you're funding the business and whether R&D claims were part of this process.
Yeah, so we have been in operation for about 2.5 years now, and we were founded with the aim of making air pollution data personal to help people protect their health. So, air pollution is the biggest environmental risk to health, but generally, people see data for the whole city and for the whole day, and that gives the impression there's nothing they can do. But actually, using our high resolution models that we've developed and our algorithms to translate it into an individual's exposure to pollution, we can help them pinpoint ways in which they can reduce that exposure and protect their health. And we do this all through digital products, so modeling of air pollution data, and then onto an app and other digital outputs.
Yeah, that's a really valuable application. Having lung challenges myself, I know how important that is. So can you tell us about the research and development work that you did? What's the nature of it?
Yeah, so the main thing that we do that sets us apart is to, excuse me, developing models at hyperlocal scale, so street level, hour by hour air pollution models, and then also linking that to an individual. So we take in GPS data, we infer activity data to understand how fast people are moving and therefore what they're likely to be breathing in. So our algorithms take that real like spatial level through to an individual's physiology. And then one of the most complicated things that we've developed over the past couple of years has been um, lower pollution routes. So optimizing potential routes that people can take for low pollution, and that's it's others have done similar in a sort of static way, so kind of marking on maps what are meant to be the most low pollution routes at any time. But the way we do it is very dynamic. So we're looking at pollution levels in that moment and giving people guidance as to how much they could reduce their exposure by particular route choices.
Sounds like a real complex mix of science, technology, and maths involved there.
Indeed, yeah.
Do you think you could have made the correct judgments for your R&D claim without advice?
I don't think so. No, I mean, we were. This was the first time we did an R&D claim. So sorry, back on your question about how we've been funding it. This is so before this, we've funded it through investment, but certainly since having the R&D claim, that's also contributed to our runway and our ability to do more R&D. But in terms of this first claim, I mean, we were looking at possibly doing it ourselves, but it's quite I mean, it requires quite a lot of expertise, a lot of judgment, a lot of understanding of the best way to set things out clearly. And I mean, even things like whether you show that you're high intensity R&D or not, judgments about which side of that kind of threshold you are. So there's a lot to think about, and yeah, I mean, we could have given it a go, but I don't think we would have done a very good job on our own.
Yeah, no. And were you happy with the outcome of the R&D claim?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we got a bit of a refund from HMRC within, I guess it was about 2 or 3 months that it came through in the end. And so, and no particular queries. So assume that they were happy with the way everything was presented. And it helped us to set things up for the future as well, like understanding um, how to organize and make note of the time spent on particular R&D activities and what sort of things would count and what wouldn't count, so that we can prepare ourselves for future claims as well.
Yeah, yeah. And I was going to ask how the experience of claiming tax credits had impacted future plans, but I
Mhm.
guess you've answered that. And I'm guessing that claims will play a part in future funding decisions, will they?
Yeah, I mean, we obviously we're here to develop the science and the technology regardless. So we're not doing it in order to do a claim, but the fact that we've put a large proportion of our salaries and other costs into doing R&D is important. And yeah, and so it's great that there's the government scheme to recognise that.
Excellent, great. So great to chat to you, Louise. And can I just ask one last question? How likely are you to recommend R&D tax?
Yeah, highly likely. Already have done to a number of people over the last few months, because I mean it's something that most startups come across sooner or later and want to understand where they stand in it. So yeah, I've recommended it many times already.
Lovely, wonderful, and I'm looking very much looking forward to working with you on the next one.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you ever so much.